working to connect a region of over 600 cultural bridges between our lands.
Good evening, I'm Alma Angeles, and you're watching ASEAN in Focus on tonight's headlines. The Philippine government is taking a strong stance against illegal fishing, particularly the use of cyanide. President Marcos Jr. vows legal action against foreign fishermen caught harming marine life and Filipino livelihoods. Accusations are flying in the South China Sea, with the Philippines claiming Chinese fishermen used cyanide at Bajo de Masinloc, a disputed territory. China vehemently denies the accusations, emphasizing their commitment to environmental protection and fishing regulations. Two men, Lyndall Mays and Dominic Miller, are charged with second-degree murder in connection with the deadly shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl celebration. Investigators believe they are involved in a gunfight that left one person dead and over 20 injured. Two teenagers previously charged face lesser accusations, but prosecutors believe more individuals were involved. The Philippine government is taking a strong stance against illegal fishing at Bajo de Masinloc, also known as Scarborough Shoal. President Marcos Jr. has declared that legal action will be pursued against foreign fishermen caught using cyanide, a destructive practice that harms both marine life and the livelihoods of Filipino fishers.
If we feel that there is enough ground to do so, we will.
Filipino fishermen have reported seeing Vietnamese and Chinese fishermen using cyanide at Bajo de Masinloc, raising concerns about the devastating impact on the coral reefs and marine system.
The best that we know is that there really is, as far as we can tell. Sabi ng BIFAR, talagang merong ginagamit. Meron naman nagsasabi, matagal nang ginagawa yan. And I do know that there are cases of cyanide fishing before, even here in the Philippines. But I think that the reason that it has become more alarming is that it has become more prevalent.
The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BFAR, is actively collecting evidence to support the claims. The National Security Council is also involved, collaborating with the Department of Justice and Office of the Solicitor General to strengthen the case against potential offenders.
So, ang sabi po namin sa BFAR, complete the documentation that you have taken, no? Yung mga ebidensya at mga affidavits na makukuha natin, submit your post-mission report to the National Task Force West Philippine Sea. We will investigate this report, and if validated, pwede po natin itong i-forward sa Department of Justice at sa Office of the Solicitor General, because sila po ngayon yung gumagawa ng mga hakbang para mapalakas yung pinaplano nating pagsasampa ng kaso sa kung saang mang tribunal for environmental degradation.
Cyanide fishing devastates coral reefs, vital for fish breeding and food sources. Accusations of illegal fishing and environmental destruction are simmering in the South China Sea, creating a tense situation between the Philippines and China. The Philippine Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BFAR, claims Chinese fishermen are using cyanide to destroy fishing grounds at Bajo de Masinloc, also known as Scarborough Shoal. This disputed territory is claimed by both nations. Beijing vehemently denies the accusations, calling them fabrication. They also emphasize their commitment to protecting the environment and upholding fishing regulations. China criticized the Philippine claims as disinformation and accuses them of jeopardizing bilateral relations and regional stability. Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla previously hinted at filing an environmental case against China in international courts, citing the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. China has built artificial islands in the South China Sea, bolstering its territorial claims. However, a 2016 arbitral ruling under UNCLOS rejected China's claims in this area, which China refuses to recognize. Philippine Vice President Sara Duterte has issued a statement addressing recent allegations made against her, including claims of receiving bags of guns from controversial Pastor Apollo Quiboloy and involvement in the Davao Death Squad. The Vice President remains defiant, emphasizing her commitment to work and stating she will not be deterred by attacks and issues. She attributes these accusations to her position as Vice President and potential obstacle for future presidential aspirants.
Sa kasaysayan ng Pilipinas, naging kagawian na ang pag-atake at pagbato ng sari-saring issue laban sa Vice Presidente. Marahil sapagkat ang Vice Presidente ang tumatayong pangunahing hadlang sa mga nangangarap maging Pangulo.
The allegations stem from a Senate hearing investigating Quiboloy, where a former KOJC member named Rene claimed seeing Duterte and her father receive firearms. Vice President Duterte dismisses this as baseless, stating that she prioritizes real problems in Filipinos, not engaging in unnecessary distractions.
Naniniwala ako na may tamang panahon para sa lahat. Panahon ngayon ng aking pagtatrabaho. Tutuparin ko ang sinumpaang tungkulin. Uunahin ko ang mga tunay na suliranin. Uunahin ko ang Pilipinas.
This is not the first time Duterte has faced accusations. Retired police officer Arturo Lascana has previously linked her to the Davao Death Squad and Oplan Tokhang. The controversial anti-drug campaign of the previous administration, Duterte has consistently denied these claims, calling them scripted and politically motivated.
Hindi ko ikakagulat kung dumami pa ang mga kaso, investigasyon, testigo paratang atake at paninira laban sa akin sa mga susunod na araw, linggo, buwan at mga taon.
Two Taiwanese YouTubers have landed in hot water after staging a fake kidnapping in Cambodia and posting it online. The stunt has led to a 2-year jail sentence and a hefty fine for the duo. Chen Nengchuan and Lu Chu Shin filmed themselves being kidnapped and tortured in a Cambodian resort, sparking concern and disbelief online. A Cambodian court found them guilty of incitement to cause chaos to social security.
រឿងរបស់គាត់នេះគឺថាបានបង្កនៅភាពទុក្ខធ្ងន់ធ្ងររួចទៅហើយដូច្នេះឯកតាមច្បាប់នៃវិរិយជាតិចក្រកម្ពុជាយើងត្រូវតែបន្តទៅតាមច្បាប់បន្តទៅយើងនឹងឲ្យគាត់ចាប់ផុតការទទួលខុសត្រូវតាមច្បាប់ហើយនឹងយើងឲ្យគាត់ចាក់ចេញពីកម្ពុជារបស់យើងត្រឡប់ទៅវិញ
And sentence each to 2 years in jail and a $2,000 fine. Cambodian authorities claim the men aimed to create slanderous videos about human trafficking and organ harvesting.
លោកលើកឡើងរហូតថានៅក្នុងទឹកដីរបស់យើងនេះមានតាំងពីការលុបសរីរាង្គរបស់មនុស្សតែពិតហើយថារឿងនេះយើងខ្ញុំក្នុងនាមជាជនកម្ពុជាម្នាក់យើងក៏ទទួលការឈឺចាប់យ៉ាងធ្ងន់ធ្ងររួចណាស់ទៅហើយការផ្សព្វផ្សាយនេះគឺមិនមែនតែលើកទី1
Although their true intentions remain unclear, the incident highlights the dangers of spreading misinformation online, especially regarding sensitive topics like human trafficking. The case comes amidst Cambodia's efforts to crack down on online scams, where foreign nationals are lured into carrying out fraudulent activities under threats of violence. A Russian-American ballerina residing in Los Angeles has been detained in Russia on suspicion of treason. Now, Ksenia Karelina, a 33-year-old ballerina who became a U.S. citizen in 2021, is accused of raising funds to support Ukraine's defense against the ongoing war. Russian authorities claim she provided financial assistance to Ukraine, but haven't offered details or evidence. They further allege she participated in pro-Ukraine demonstrations in the U.S. The White House is working to secure consular access, but Russia doesn't recognize dual citizenship, making the situation delicate. This incident adds to the growing list of U.S. citizens and dual nationals detained in Russia, including Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich, currently imprisoned on espionage charges. And this also comes as tensions escalate ahead of the war's second anniversary next week, with the U.S. debating sending long-range missiles to Ukraine. Still in other news beyond the region, California's coastline is reeling from another powerful storm, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Massive boulders have blocked the iconic Pacific Coast Highway, trapping drivers in fast rising waters and prompting dramatic rescues. Los Angeles has already seen almost its entire year's average rainfall this month, exceeding the likes of Seattle, New Orleans, and Miami. And this relentless deluge, compounded by storm after storm, is taking a devastating toll on the region's infrastructure and fragile coastline.
Caution should be taken around flood control channels and in the crossings area.
In the coastal city of Rancho Palos Verdes, entire neighborhoods are literally falling apart. The city is desperately seeking help as water continues to erode the land at an alarming rate. The historic Wayfarers Chapel, a popular wedding venue, has been forced to close indefinitely due to the shifting ground, leaving over 175 couples heartbroken. The damage doesn't stop there. Falling trees, massive potholes, and the chilling image of a multi-million-dollar home teetering on the edge of a cliff all paint a picture of a state under siege. And today, we're learning more about the deadly shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl celebration. Two men, Lyndall Mays and Dominic Miller, have been charged with second-degree murder in connection with this incident. And this news just broke within the last hours. Both Mays and Miller are being held on a $1 million bond. Remember the chaotic scene? People running for cover after the Chiefs celebration ended? A young mother was killed and over 20 others were injured by gunfire. Now, what sparked this strategy? Officials say Mays apparently got into an argument with someone he didn't know, and things escalated, and he pulled his gun. Others then joined the firefight.
There was no connection to each other, those two individuals. Now, that argument very quickly escalated to Mays drawing his firearm, a handgun. Mays pulled his handgun first. Almost immediately, others pulled their firearms. Defendant Miller was one of those individuals.
Investigators believe Miller's gun is the one that killed Lisa Lopez Galvan, the young mother.
While both adults are charged with murder, the evidence tells us that it was Mr. Miller's firearm. Mr. Miller's firearm struck Lisa Lopez Galvan.
Now, previously, two teenagers were charged in the case, and police initially indicated there could be more charges against them. But today's announcement brings two more individuals into the picture. Now, what are the charges against the teenagers? They face charges of resisting arrest and gun-related offenses, but not directly with shooting or harming anyone. Is this the end of the investigation? Absolutely not, because prosecutors say they believe there are more shooters involved and are actively searching for them. Still in the U.S., former President Donald Trump drew parallels between his legal battles and the imprisonment and death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny during a town hall meeting in South Carolina. He criticized a $355 million fine levied against him in a New York fraud case, comparing it to a form of Navalny and suggesting it resembled communist or fascist tactics.
A huge amount of your time has been spent in court, in the courtroom in New York and so forth. Now, in this New York civil fraud case, this Judge Arthur Engeron ruled against you for almost $500 million plus interest that runs every day. When I first read this, like $87,000 a day. How will you put up that kind of money? Because you have a bond to put up. Even if you appeal, you got to put up escrow money. That's it's a lot of dough.
It is a form of Navalny. It is a form of communism or fascism. The guy's a nut job. I've known this for a long time, and I've said it openly.
In addition to the civil fraud case in New York, Trump faces 91 criminal counts, including charges related to alleged electoral interference in the 2020 election, which he lost to Joe Biden. He has seized on his legal woes as a way to fire up supporters, claiming court cases are, quote, just a way of hurting me in the election.
Here.
Navalny is a very sad situation, and he's very brave. He was a very brave guy because he went back. He could have stayed away, and frankly, probably would have been a lot better off staying away and talking from outside of the country as opposed to having to go back in, because people thought that could happen, and it did happen, and it's a horrible thing. But it's happening in our country, too. We are turning into a communist country in many ways, and if you look at it, I'm the leading candidate. I got indicted. I never heard of being indicted before. I got indicted 4 times. I have 8 or 9 trials, all because of the fact that and you know this, all because of the fact that I'm in politics.
Do you see yourself as a potential political prisoner in the United States, because that's their goal, is to put you in jail behind your bars, wait for the rest of your life?
If I were losing in the polls, they wouldn't even be talking about me, and I wouldn't have had any legal fees.
If you had retired from politics, would all these cases...
If I were out, I think, although they hate me so much, I think if I got out, they'd still, let's pursue this guy. We can't stand this guy.
Trump has long soft-pedaled on Russia, at times expressing open admiration for Putin, whom he has called a genius. Earlier this month, he effectively killed a bipartisan bill that would have sent billions of dollars in military aid to Ukraine after telling congressional Republicans to vote the legislation down. He also recently stunned Western allies after saying he would encourage Russia to attack members of the NATO military alliance who had not met their financial obligations. Get ready to create videos with just words. OpenAI, the team behind the ChatGPT and DALL-E, has unveiled Sora, a new AI model that turns textual prompts into realistic videos. Now, say goodbye to complex editing software. With Sora, all you need is an idea and a few descriptive words to generate a minute-long video. Not just from scratch. Give Sora an existing image and it'll breathe life into it, creating a video right before your eyes. OpenAI is currently testing Sora with a limited group of creators and sharing impressive results online, like golden retrievers hosting a podcast and a duck-dragon hybrid exploring a sunset. Challenges remain, though. OpenAI acknowledges imperfections like left-right confusion and continuity issues, but they're actively improving the model. OpenAI takes ethical considerations seriously. They'll use red teaming to test for potential misuse and collaborate with experts to navigate the responsible use of this technology. And this isn't the only game in town. Meta, Google, and Runway AI are also exploring text-to-video AI, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. So what's next? OpenAI plans to engage with policymakers, educators, and artists to discuss concerns and explore positive applications of this groundbreaking technology. As my usual habit, I'd like to end the day on a positive note. Let's encourage and build each other up so that no one is left behind. And that's it for tonight's broadcast. I'm Alma Angela. Stay in the news because we live in extraordinary times. Good night.